Hello, everyone, and welcome to my podcast.
Sunshine Hour!
I am your host, Naomi Wilson, and today is a very special day because we have two amazing ladies coming on. Let's welcome them on. Taylor and Wayana were two of the 4 girls from King that were accepted into Spelman College, historically black women's school in Atlanta. Well, hey guys, how's your day going so far?
My day is going well. A lot of IB testing, so I'm a little bit tired, but it's great overall.
Yeah, same for me as well. I finished my bio HL exam today, so that was a little bit stressful. But it was overall a good day. The weather was really nice, so that was a plus.
Yes, that's always good to hear. The first question, why Spelman and what initially attracted you guys there?
I would say something that really first attracted me to Spelman was definitely just talking with my mother and stuff. I remember before, even before I got to high school, mom would send me reels and Instagrams of stuff from Spelman. The first black woman to do this and all of this, and mom would show me that. And I started doing research on my own, and I never seen one bad review about Spelman whenever I was doing my research. I just seen how everyone was saying how it was their most unforgettable experience, and how it's the one thing that they don't regret in life. And the more of that I dug into it and I researched on it, I realized that that was a place that I wanted to be, and it was a place that I felt like I would be most comfortable being in.
That's really nice. What about you?
For me, it was kind of the same, except for in middle school, we used to do a lot of historically black college research projects and stuff that. And so I used to go and balance between FAMU and Spelman. And for a long time, it was FAMU only because of the health portion of their college. I feel like it was really strong. But then coming into high school, I was leaning towards growing into womanhood and everything like that, and Spelman seemed it embodied everything that I was looking into. And so I kept doing my research, and I was talking to my parents about it, and like she said, I was talking to advisors, and a lot of people was kind of propelling me forward that way and saying how this is a lot of black girls' dream school. So that was just the place to be.
So it was family brought on, the energy and everything?
Yeah, I didn't have any former family members that went there, and so I would be the first in my family to go there. But I had a lot of advisors and people that were there before me, mentors and things like that. And so they kind of all had a hand in convincing me or supporting my decision of going there.
What major are you planning to pursue at Spelman, and what sparked your interest in that area?
Okay, so my major going to Spelman is going to be psychology. I also plan on minoring in political science on a pre-law track, as I have aspirations of being a lawyer in the future. Something that sparked my interest in taking psychology as a major is when I started doing psychology as a junior, my junior year, and I absolutely fell in love with it. It was my favorite class. I would put psychology over everything else. that was the one class that I really sat down, studied, and made flashcards and just did all of this stuff for. I really, was invested in it. And I love the whole aspect of psychology and what it focuses on. And all of my life, I kind of focused between the medical field or being a lawyer. And so I did a law internship the summer of 2023, and I was able to have a law mentor who actually worked at a law firm, and I was able to work at the law firm with her, and I was able to meet a lot of different lawyers and stuff who were in different fields of law, and they kind of spoke to me about how going into school, it doesn't really matter what your major is, because you can go to law school with any major. They said just to kind of try to find what you're interested in and what you would enjoy doing while you're in school. So that's psychology is what I was most interested in, so that's how I kind of made that decision.
Okay, what about you?
For me, I'm majoring in health science with a minor in psychology on a pre-med track.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so I've always been kind of interested in the medical field in itself, but just this past summer, I was blessed with the opportunity to join the apprenticeship in medicine program at the Medical College of Wisconsin. I was introduced to that by my advisors at Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee Graduation Plus, and I interviewed for that and I got accepted. I kind of wanted to lean towards the neuroradiology field only because, neuro specifically, and then I had an interest in radiology, so it kind of just balanced out. Because my grandmother, she battled with neurodegenerative illness called ALS, which is like very rare. And so I wanted to like really dive into neuro and see what that entailed. And so over the summer, I got to shadow a neuroradiologist, and she was a great preceptor, and it kind of like encouraged me to move forward on that path. And I know with my education at Spelman that I'll hopefully be able to pass my MCAT and then enroll into medical school and be able to pursue my dreams. So yeah.
What did your application process look like, and who supported you most during your journey?
Yeah, so with the Boys and Girls Club Graduation Plus program, I had an advisor and a group of advisors who kind of like pushed me on like a calendar of what to do and how to do it, and when should I meet deadlines and things that I should be looking into for college. And so they kind of made sure that we all were on like the Common App application, and it was an easy way to be able to apply for college and like the quickest way. I also had an advisor, a youth, like I can just say like a youth mentor who had gotten into Spelman like the year before. And so she was an incoming freshman as I was entering in my senior year. And so she kind of was just like, oh, you know, listen to a lot of podcasts and try to write an essay that's like out of the box and like not something that they're expecting. And so I took her advice. I looked up all the essay prompts that I can, so interesting ones, and I was like, oh, okay, this one it speaks to me. And so I sat down and I was thinking about my major, I was thinking about my passion. I kind of just wrote. And then I had a lot of different people look over it, some advisors, some teachers, everybody I could that I like.
What did they think of it?
Oh, they were really impressed. They were really impressed. I got a lot of feedback in areas because at first it was like a long paragraph or long paragraphs, and they have helped me shorten it in some ways that I can still get my point across and things like that.
Like revise it and stuff.
Yeah. And yeah, I just pressed submit and cross my fingers.
From there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, mine is also similar as well because I'm also in Boys and Girls Club, a very Milwaukee Graduation Plus. And so with that process, I will say that was one of the best parts of being in Graduation Plus is that it helped you get on track with things early. So I was very timely as far as like, getting started with my Common App. But I will say it was like a little bit of procrastination, and I was having writer's block, especially trying to, figure out like my essay prompts and what I want to write about. And so I spent like a good month like preparing and like writing this one essay, like my personal statement for my Common App and for Spelman. And I was, like stuck on, okay, this is what I'm going to write about. And the more I was like reading over it and like talking with my advisors, I felt like it wasn't like personal enough, and I felt like it was just kind of like straight to the point of like what I would think that they would want to hear about, because it was like about like my law program and things like that. But the more I kind of sat down and realized, like it probably took me like literally like a week or two before like I had to submit my application to be like, yeah, no. And I changed my entire prompt, and I literally just like started writing it like a week before it was due, and I was just writing, and then I finished it in like one day. And then I remember I showed my advisor like the essay, and she's not someone who's really too impressed. Like, she'll say, it's good, but like she really like she sat back and she was like, oh my gosh, Taylor, she's like, this is such a good essay. Like she had no things that like improved, like any comments that she said like I could improve on. She said it was amazing. I had Mr. LaFleur read. I had all these teachers kind of like go through it, and they were all saying how much they like loved the story, which I was so proud of, because I literally like it was something that I felt like was really personal to me and something that I feel like I've always felt like my entire life. So just being able to speak on it and just have that essay kind of be like what helped me get into all like these amazing colleges such as Spelman. It was definitely a rewarding process, and it was definitely stressful, especially that last week. I kind of thought that I was my advisor kind of had me think I was maybe going to have to wait a little bit for like submitting my application process, but I just trusted God, and I knew, that I did everything that I needed to do, and it worked out. So,
what did you do to prepare yourself for important tests?
Okay, I would definitely say my example is always going to be like psychology, but definitely every time we had an important test, I always make sure to like do my flashcards and things like that. And another thing that I feel like really helped me like while I was doing my flashcards is also like looking at prior tests like that was focused on the topic. So like even with like my IB exams that I had to take, like I was able to look over like old IB tests and things of that nature, and able to see like kind of the formatting and how they asked the question. So when it was time for me to actually like take the test, I knew how to answer the question and how to structure it, so that I could be more prepared. Definitely with psych, I would say I was able to kind of catch on to the pattern really easy of how the tests were. And so once I kept using like that same structure and like making that like kind of knowing my flashcards of like what to say and like how to say it and what words to use, I would say it came like very repetitive. So definitely just like rehearsing things and looking at it over and over is definitely how I prepared for tests.
Yeah, guys, the key lesson is to study.
Yes, definitely studying and not the day before.
Yes.
Yeah, so same for me. Psych is really like one of the only classes I ever had to like sit down and write some review cards for. Other than that though, I was going and doing like review wheels and like maybe some Kahoots when it was actually helpful. And like doing like pure talking through stuff and like looking over my work and talking through it is actually beneficial to like helping you like remember and things like that. And like she said, King does a lot of the King teachers, they do a great job of like giving us prior IB tests and everything like that. So I love going back and looking at paper 1s, paper 2s, paper 3s and kind of like seeing old people's scores. Like it wouldn't show the names of the people, of course, but like looking at what they said and like the questions and seeing how I might have answered and see where I probably would have answered similar to them and they had a bad score, or answer similar to them and they had like a high score. And so I kind of balanced it out like that. But yeah, studying is key and not the day before.
So what do you guys like to do for fun?
Me, I'm a varsity cheerleader. I actually won state for the third time in a row this year.
Congrats.
So, thank you. So I love to cheer. Cheering has been like, it's been bringing me back to ground level since freshman year here at King. I feel like it makes me, it allows me to like have a time off of so much studying and so much work. I get to spend time with my sisters and my family and my cheer brothers as well, but my cheer sisters, my cheer brothers, and like just kind of really like taking myself away from the academic like ways, I guess. Yeah. And then like I would really say just like going with my friends and like hanging out. We do a lot of like outings and things of that like nature or whatever. So like we can go and maybe we turn a study date into some type of like outing, and so we go to like Corner Bakery or something like that, and then end at like Gordo's or something just to like regroup. I also like going on like rides and going to amusement parks and things of that nature. So yeah, whatever feels good.
Okay, yeah, same for me. I would definitely say I'm very much like a hanging with my friends kind of like person. I love hanging out with my friends. I love going to try new things. Like we're definitely like the type of group to just be like, oh, I see something on TikTok that's fun. Like, yep, we're gonna go do that. And then the next day we'll get the stuff for it, or we'll go wherever it is and we'll go do that. So I would definitely say doing things like that. I definitely used to do sports, but this year I kind of took a step back.
So what sports did you do?
I ran track junior year and sophomore year, and I did volleyball sophomore year as well. Track was definitely, I would say, the most fun. I would definitely say I was interested in it, but this year kind of had to take a step back. I was just definitely stressed out with like schoolwork and like things like that. So I kind of was just like weighing like the pros and cons, and just trying to figure out
smart for you.
Yeah, most definitely. But overall, I would definitely just say, really for me, it's just hanging out with my friends. I love watching TV shows. I will like binge a TV show forever. But yeah,
I can do the same.
I'm on like my third time watching Grey's Anatomy, so yeah.
Okay, for people watching this video and want to go to college, what are some words of advice for them?
I would definitely just say, first and foremost, just like find what you're interested in. Like I feel like schools, they love to hear about like the things that you do outside of your academics, and that's kind of like what they like look for the most. Like of course, keep your grades up and studying, like that's like the first and most important thing. But also like they don't really like when someone is just all about their grades and they're not really doing anything outside of school. So I would definitely just say find something in school that you like, join clubs, join programs, organizations, anything like that, or even outside of school, do lots of community service, and just overall just find ways for you to kind of like make an impact some way somehow. So I would definitely say, like for me, the way I did that was just trying to do community service like in my community, or just like being involved in the school. But yeah, that's my main piece of advice. Just make sure you get involved and have fun doing it.
Yeah, I would definitely say, like she said, make sure you just stay involved and keep going at it. If you find something that's interesting to you, make sure that you actually pursue that interest. Like, I'm interested in mental health awareness, so I hosted my own mental health preteens and painting service event at Vibes Creative Art Space over there in Glendale and Bayshore Mall. And so, like, that was something I was interested in. I know I wanted to make like a big impact in the world, and so that's what I did. Like, things like that, you know, you just really gotta stay focused on, you know, your academics, but like get involved in clubs and stuff like that, because they want to see like a well-rounded person.
Yes.
They want to see it like in that like a holistic view of like yourself, so you're presenting all that you are interested in when you like come to college. So it's not all just about scores or ACT scores, test scores, things of that nature. Like, really make sure you show your full you inside of your application and things like that. And I will say too, to get involved in like these college prep programs, they're really helpful, and they're going to guide you in the right direction, because most of the advisors have been there before or are still in college, and so they want to see you succeed. So I would say just make sure you stay on top of your things and be your best self.
Yes, these ladies here are very inspiring, and I'm very excited to see what you guys have in store for the next few years.
Thank you.
Well, that's a wrap, guys. Make sure you like and share. Comment down below any other video ideas we can do, and don't miss our next video dropping soon. See you.